Have you ever looked at a unit in Dragon Ball Legends and thought, wow, they got this one right? But in other cases, you'd look at them and think, damn, this is horrible. Well, a lot of this boils down to the fact that the developers build characters' kits to make them lore accurate. Now, this is especially visible in their animations, but in their kit as well, there are traces of things that happened in the anime that they reference to build the template for their kit, especially if the unit has a new mechanic involved. In this video, I wanted to touch on the most lore accurate units that we have in Dragon Ball Legends. This can have a lot of parts into it, so let me know if you'd want to see more. I'll talk about 3 units specifically in this video, but there's a long list as there's a bunch of characters in this game. But I will also add one bonus simply because he's the newest unit in the game at the time I'm making this video. Now, I'm not going to talk about this unit a lot because I don't feel like his kit is exactly lore accurate. They really just made him overpowered and built his kit so that he can be a nice piece for the Diamond team. But in terms of his animations, oh man, they hit him on the head. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the newest Legends Limited in Dragon Ball Legends at the time I'm making this video. This guy's animations are pristine. I made a whole video just assessing how quality his animations are as to show that we are going to get this standard further in this year, and this is pre Dragon Ball Legends 2. We haven't even got the update that's supposedly going to happen in April, and Goku's coming like this. It was literally perfect. I don't know how people can look at this and think it's bad, and even the fact that he turns off the music, that Kamehameha might actually be top 1 in the whole Dragon Ball franchise. And Dragon Ball Legends just skipped the mini forms and went straight into the adult ones. With this, they got it right, man. I don't have anything else to say. I just wanted to talk about him a little bit because his animations are just so good. I don't really feel like his kit touches accurately in terms of what he did in the anime. They just made him really good. For example, him having 2 ultimates isn't necessary. But boy, from the attack patterns into that Kamehameha hit different, bro. It hit different, and I just had to mention it in this video. Now, in my opinion, Ultra Gogeta Blue is easily the most lore accurate unit in Dragon Ball Legends. If not top 1, he's top 2. His whole kit is designed based on his "it's futile," and we know that's a core moment for Dragon Ball fans. On top of that, we see in his kit that he's meant to be building up, so he doesn't start off as the oppressive powerhouse that we saw him be. Even when he was in base to Super Saiyan, he was building up intentionally because they enjoy the fight, and Ultra Gogeta does that. It's actually one of his biggest flaws to date, but at that time, it was a good way to hold him back, and even without the build-up, he still was the best unit in Dragon Ball Legends at that time. The segment in his kit where it says, applies the following effects to self once 60 timer counts have elapsed from battle start, means that he's not at his maximum power up until the 60th timer count. He gets extra damage inflicted, an extra level of draw speed, and key recovery, which makes him super nice, but once he decides to be, just like in the movie. We all know Gogeta could have beat Broly in seconds, but he wanted to long out the fight to enjoy it. There is a similar application in his green card where he can become defensively and offensively more oppressive. So after 30 timer counts, he nullifies elemental factors, so that's complete type neutral, but after 60 timer counts, he's also going to get 70% vanish restore every green card that he presses. I think all in all, this is an amazing representation of what Gogeta did in the Broly movie. The "it's futile" counter making him super powerful and designing it around that moment in the Broly movie while making it so that he has to build up to his highest potential, just like how he did in the Broly movie because he didn't want to take Broly out straight away by choice, while also still making Gogeta the strongest in the game on release. They did him justice, and I think that was a very well designed unit. Let me know what you guys think about him being the best designed unit in Dragon Ball Legends history, but I think for sure he's up there as one of them. Next, we've got Ultra UI Goku, and there's a lot I can go into here. We know all the Ultra Instinct units, they have the ability to just dodge any attack that comes their way based on their gauge, and that's a staple since the first UI sign, since MUI Goku, Rev sign post transform, and of course Ultra UI being the latest installment in Dragon Ball Legends. It's not that the other UI units aren't exactly lore accurate either, but I guess I'll call it a bias because UI sign, I actually prefer it over the mastered form. Now with this guy, they amped how valuable the dodge mechanic is by making it so that he can also flip out of combos. UI Goku is not meant to get hit, so him getting hit in the first place is just something so that he can be actually fair on the battlefield. The fact that he even has a gauge, fair enough, UI is timed because it is something that is very taxing on Goku's body, but while he's in the UI state, he really shouldn't be getting hit. So they made it so that if you do get caught in a combo, you can flip out of it from any forward moving attacks. They didn't do it for blast arts though, but I expect we can see that on MUI Goku, and that's just simply because it's the higher form in comparison to UI Sign. So giving it that one step up, especially in comparison to MUI Goku, UI Sign, and Rev Sign, those other 3 Ultra Instinct units that we got. And I know MUI Goku can simply just reflect an attack, but he can't get out of a combo once the combo is going against him. And I think that's a very nice touch to emphasize how fluid UI Goku should be in a game. They've also made him defensively weak, which is a standard. Like I said earlier, this is a very taxing technique. We saw the load I was putting on Goku. So naturally, if they're gonna build a UI Goku in Dragon Ball Legends, they shouldn't make them defensively great. But at the same time, that is a good way to nerf them because of how powerful the mechanic is in game. I always like to emphasize that it's the most skill-based mechanic in the game, quote unquote, because if you don't get hit, you can't lose. So as long as you're doing damage, given that you're running 3 UI units, even if you're doing 100 times less damage, if you don't get hit, you won't lose. Let's also add in the fact that they brought that mechanic where he's able to stop the enemy from cover changing and saving their allies. If he's doing a strike or a blast, if the enemy tries to cover change, he's gonna drag them back in just like he did in the anime. And I think that's a perfect addition to the game. In that state, you can get a free ultimate and the animations just come out looking beautiful just like they were in the anime. Overall, visually and in the kit, with the gameplay, you can feel the intention. It wasn't just designed with the intention of the game being the game, it was designed with the anime in mind, and it's very evident when you get a unit like Ultra Instinct Sign Goku, the Ultra. The final one I'm going to mention for this video is Ultra Hit. Now with Ultra Hit, it should go without saying that his whole kit is based around his time skip. They released this guy for the sole purpose of the mechanic, which is his time skip. If this guy gets a platinum equipment, he's going to be crazy. But I specifically wanted to talk about this because they obviously, so obviously, nerfed him. In every stage of Dragon Ball where he makes an appearance, I feel like he's nerfed for some reason. The only time he wasn't nerfed was when he actually killed Goku because Goku hired him himself. But every time they have a tournament, there's no killing. So he's an assassin that can't kill. What's going on here? He's not trained for these purposes, meaning that he has to hold himself back. And as a result, he's fighting in a style which he's not trained for. Now, I already spoke about his time skip, but let's look deeper into it. His time skip is activated through his green card once his unique gauge is full. And for that short period of time, he's not supposed to get hit, similar to a special beam cannon. But what's crazy about it is that he actually has 50% damage inflicted reduced in that time skip mode, because in that time skip mode you get a set amount of time to do free damage. So they've nerfed him all his normal attacks. The only thing that doesn't have a nerf is his ultimate art. That's where he does the load of punches so you can see the animation, but it should be every single punch. Honestly, it's his time skip. And let's also point out that he can only do this once. He doesn't have multiple ultimates in his kit, but he can time skip multiple times in a game. So for every other time skip, he's nerfed. At least if every other time skip wasn't nerfed after he uses the ultimate arts, I'd be like, fine, they freed it up after the fact. But they nerfed him just like they do every single time when he shows up in Dragon Ball. I just thought that was kind of funny, but there's nothing else besides the time skip that really screams, oh, lore accuracy. His animations are lore accurate, his time skip mechanics is lore accurate, but they didn't do anything else to make him majorly lore accurate. But I think him having his own mechanic is just enough. I guess I might want to point out that there's one line here, he does plus 30% damage inflicted against element blue, so he's meant to do extra damage specifically against those that are type advantage over him. And I think that's a nice touch because he's an assassin, so there shouldn't be people that can get one over him, with a few exceptions based on what we saw in the series, but he should be able to assassinate everyone based on his time skip ability. So overall, they did an amazing job with Ultra Hit, but it's somewhat his downfall in game because they had to nerf it so that he's not ridiculous. But I think the way they do some people nowadays, they should have just gave him that base damage inflicted he already does while he's in that time skip mode. He would have been cracked for the time being, but over time he just become a normal unit while retaining his ultra status. But maybe I don't know what I'm doing, because his time skip with the ultimate is still very crazy. Naturally, it's an ultimate art. He also can't rising rush, but that should be a standard because the rising rush involves teammates. But I think he should be able to rising rush at least if he's last stand, so that he's in his simple rising rush time skip. That could be cool as well. But yeah, I'm just talking here extra based on the fact that he's nerfed in game, just how I feel he's nerfed nerfed in the series. That's going to make the end of the video. Let me know some other units you'd want me to speak on if you did enjoy this video. Like I said, I can do another part of this because there's a lot of units that are very, very low accurate, and I'm looking to see what they will release this anniversary, so I could even make further videos talking about things that are even more low accurate, because it seems like they're doing a very good job in general. But of course, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.